Hey, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. This is Mike Lee with Accelerate Property Management. We're going to do a quick tutorial on how to get you through the application process. We've noticed a few hiccups here and there, can be a little bit confusing, but I promise if you put this in the lower left-hand portion of the screen and pause it when you need to and just follow along, you should be set up for success. We at Accelerate Property Management do a first come, first serve basis. We do not pick and choose. We take the most qualified applicant that gets all their stuff in first. And I do want to emphasize, gets all their stuff in first. Things you should have prepared as you're going through this process is a good email address that you check. We're not going to be sending you spam mail, so this needs to be an email address that you can click on and check and see if anything comes through. I guarantee those emails come through. I've tested it on myself. It works. Second, you need to have at least a month's worth of pay stubs. When we ask you for your income, you're gonna put it in there, and we're gonna trust but verify. And how we verify is ensure that those pay stubs match the number you provide. What are we looking for? We're looking for 3 times 1 month's rent, and it's not you, it's the household. So if you've got 2 or 3 people in the household, combine their incomes. You should be more than 3 times that rent. This is a standard rule of thumb. It ensures success so that you're not tied down with debt that you can't afford to pay. The other thing we'll be looking for is your IDs. So have all your IDs ready. A picture and upload of your ID is perfectly fine. Does not have to be fancy. We would ask that your payroll stubs be downloaded from a website and uploaded in a PDF or Word document, not really a Word, I'm sorry, a PDF format. We hate getting pictures because it's hard to verify. We will be verifying income, so it just pictures come in blurry. I have to take the first qualified with all the information in that I can read. If I can't read it, I can't use it. So, and again, remember, you're at the very end of this, you're going to pay a $45 fee plus $5 processing fee to get your application processed. So it is my goal to get you through that and not waste your money. I'm not interested in taking that money. That money goes all to another service anyway that does all the background check, and that's why it's non-refundable, because we don't get any of that money. So just to follow up, I'm going to take you on my computer. I'm going to show you how we do this, and I'll talk you through it as we go. All right, so we're going to do some just quick spitballing here. I am in an incognito window just so my cookies doesn't interfere with anything. But this is my website. You'll find our properties under Our Properties. Very simple. Click on the property you want. Currently, all we have available is Cotswold. And actually, this one is rented out, but we're going to fill it out anyway. So you should see pictures, photos, and a live walkthrough. We do that with virtually every property we rent. And we go from there. Description of that as well. So let's just say, hey, love it, saw it, want to rent it. Got it. Let's start the application process. It pulls up a whole new window. And it's going to ask you some very important things right off the bat. Please pay attention. The first thing you want to do is, when can I move in? I want to move in next Wednesday. It tells you all of it. We do offer a zero security deposit program. If you choose to opt out of that, that will usually be 1 month's rent, usually. And when it's available, it should have an availability date. It is important you read through this. This is the stuff you're going to need. I mentioned a little bit at the beginning, and it is simple. We're going to be looking at your ID. We're going to be looking at your credit history. We're going to be looking at your rental history, your income history, and current employment, as well as we'll be doing the criminal background check. If you have animals, we will require you go through petscreening.com. It costs $20 unless it's a service animal or you have no animals. Everyone goes through petscreening.com. We want you to know what rules we have and where we fall on everything, so we're not confusing you. If you do have an animal, it's $20 to get them screened, and then $280 fee up front, because we do have to have every house cleaned after an animal's in it and somebody moves out. It is a fee. It is not a deposit. But we can talk more about that. go from there. So please read through this thoroughly. You're going to have some the requiring documentation that we're going to be looking for is a valid driver's license, proof of income. We have 2 months pay stubs and 2 years of tax records. Hey, are you self-employed? Great. We love self-employed people. We have ways to work around it. But we are going to ask for 2 years worth of tax returns. If you haven't been working 2 years, we might be able to still work around it. Give me a call. Let's see if we can do something with that. And then, of course, everyone needs to complete the pet screening, as I mentioned before. What we're looking for is your rental history. Have you been evicted? If you've been evicted, save your $50. You're not going to get approved. We don't approve anyone who has an eviction on the record. Now, if you have solved that eviction, you have paid back expenses, and it's not on your record anymore, now we can talk. Verifiable gross income, we're looking for, as I said, 3 times the monthly rent. Criminal background history, yeah, we need to look into that. Certain areas within our counties and school districts don't allow certain types of criminal backgrounds in it. So we do all our due diligence and make sure that it happens. Resident liability insurance. Every tenant is required to have renter's insurance. Guess what? You don't got it? No big deal. We got you covered there as well. I tell you what, Accelerated Property Management has you covered in everything. I promise you, for almost every situation that we have a solution. And it will tell you about approval process here, but really just read through it. You should get the application fee, service fee is $5, and we charge $45. The $5 is for basically accounting purposes. It goes towards fees, ACH fees, and all that fun stuff. You must click I accept here. Once you click I accept and hit continue, that's when it's going to ask you about some information. So this is essentially me. Let's just put in Mo Lee, and we'll put in one of my email addresses. Let's do this one because I know that one right off the bat. I'll need to retype it. Please don't spam me, but that's okay if you do, because that email address doesn't do much. Now I need an application, this password. This is important. If you don't finish and need to come back to it, it's quite all right. We send you an email, you can come back to it. Again, first come, first serve. So my recommendation is have all this ready and go. But if you want to start it, go get that information and come back. By all means, we'd love to have you do that as well. You do not have to pay till the very end. So all right, I had to pause it there for just a bit. That's my apologies for that one. Apparently, I have used that email in another video, so I could not use it on this one. So again, it will auto-populate your first name, your last name. You are required to put in a middle name. If you don't have one, you can hit none here. Here's why you want to put your middle name in there. When we do our screening, if there's another Mo Lee out there, I could get confused. He or she could get confused with me. So middle name kind of helps one more layer of distinguishing who you are. Additionally, we're going to need your driver's license. Don't have one, an ID will work. You'll need to put the state in there. It is a requirement that we have your social security number, date of birth, and then we'd like a mobile phone. Not like we need a mobile phone. We don't need a home number. Nobody uses them anymore, but we do need a mobile phone. Everything you see highlighted in red right there, we're going to pretty much need. And the more you give us, the better off you are. We will need a birth date. Gender helps too. If there's, in South Carolina, sometimes males have the name Carrie and sometimes females have the name Carrie. It's just better to have as much in there as possible. You're then going to put in your current residence in here, landlord name, landlord email, landlord phone. We will be verifying. So just please include all that information, make life easier. We're going to want your rental amount. That is something we're going to ask about. Are you on a month-to-month? Was it a year period? So on and so forth. To me, this is fairly simple. If you have any questions, give me a call. We'll also need your prior residence. Now, here's the deal. I forgot to mention this. Let's say you own and you're moving to a rental. We have one couple right now that their house burnt. And so they are owners waiting for their house to get repaired. So they would be owned. A lot of this stuff disappears. We're going to ask for a mortgage payment. Why are we asking for that? Because we want to make sure you can pay your mortgage and pay your rent, and it's not overwhelming on you. We'll also ask for prior residence. And in this case, again, if it's own or rent, did you own before that or did you rent? Now, if you've been in your residence for a very, very, very long time, we may not need this information, but the more you can provide, the better off you are. Trust me, the better off you are. Now, here's the thing is, Mo Lee, me, is in there. But let's say I'm moving in with 2, 3 other people, right? Add applicant. It's that simple. As soon as I add that in, I'm sorry, it is that simple when you filled out all the information. So I'm going to pause for just a second and continue finishing this out, which is random information. All right, so I'm just putting in very general information, nothing to identify. What I did want to mention here is that prior address, let's say you've been at a house for 20, 30 years. Obviously, prior address, after you put in your ownership or rental history, maybe you've been renting for 30 years, isn't going to be that big of a deal. If you got it, great, we want it. If not, let's just do the NA approach. If you can remember the city, because it is going to ask for that, but let's put Greenville because that's where I am at. And then 29655, I think is a good number. That's not where I live, FYI. County, I rented that. Let's say my landlord's name is, I don't remember. Let's say my landlord's name is, I don't remember. Let's say the phone number. And rent amount. Probably I was paying about $10,000 a month. I wasn't, but that's all right. Move in date, move out date. So that is an invalid. I'm sorry. That email address is kind of important. So let's just say 123@gmail.com. All right. Now what you're going to see here is add applicant. Boom, I fixed it. Add applicant. Uh-oh, somebody else. What are we going to call them? Let's call them Jimbo. Lee is my brother. His email address is abcdefg@gmail.com. abcdefg@gmail.com. All right. And now here's where it gets important. Will you, the person who is listening to my voice right now, will you be providing the applicant's details? If I click this first box, it goes straight to it. He's sitting next to me. He gives me all the information. If you say no, the co-applicant will provide their own details. It will send them an email. In that email, it'll be a login where they can put in all their information just like you just did, and it combines them. My recommendation, if they are nearby, do this. Get it done with. Don't stick around and wait for it. Just get her done. And then the question is, what kind of applicant are they going to be? Is Jimbo a co-applicant? Is he going to be living there with me? Is he a guarantor? Is he the guy who's going to say, hey, Mike doesn't have enough income, but I guarantee he's going to pay rent. I guarantee it to the point where I'll put my credit on the line for him. Or an other. I got to be honest with you, not many others. There's really no other process we're going to take. So my recommendation, let's just say in this case, Jimbo is a co-applicant. And we will hit continue. Boom. Same exact process. Here's the important part that I want to point out. I can toggle between, when I fill this information out, I can toggle between Mo Lee up here, which was me, and Jimbo Lee, which is my brother. Now, keep in mind, you do have to fill out all this information to move on. Although if you don't have it, you can hit down here, save, and continue later. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this for a bit and fill out some funky information. All right, I just put in a whole bunch of information. Let's hit next and see if it works. Should work. Should be fine. Yep, it's not going to recognize my address because I put in a fake address. Great. We're on to the next step. You can see up here we're 30%. Again, I can toggle between Mo Lee and Jimbo Lee. Let's go back so I can show you that. Here's Mo Lee's information. That's me. I want Jimbo Lee's information. Boom, I click right up there into the Jimbo Lee section. It will pull up his stuff. It's also going to tell you eventually up here what your total fee is going to be. So remember, $5 processing fee, not per person, just total, and then $45 per person. So Jimbo Lee, let's say I don't need him anymore. I'm going to go ahead and say, nope, I got this by myself. Jimbo, you're not helping. I could click on that trash can right there and delete them. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Employment history. You need to put this in here. We are looking for accurate mortgage rates. You know, I don't need it to the penny, but I need it pretty darn close. We are looking for accurate employment income. And we will be verifying, calling your employer, verifying that you do work there. And we want to know your gross. This is not before, after taxes. This is before taxes. What do you see before Uncle Sam comes and steals all your money? We want to know when you started and when you ended. If you're still working there, go ahead and leave blank. In this case, I'm going to say, Mo Lee don't have a job. He's living off of a trust fund. Oh, wait, Jimbo, he doesn't have a job either. But obviously not all of us live off of trust funds. Gonna have to put in a job. I am looking for that income. All right, animals. You got one? We want to know about it. Don't worry. We love animals. We do. I love animals. I had a boxer bulldog. People often confuse her with a pit bull. We'll talk about animal screening in a different video, but don't get frightened. We love animals at PMI Accelerate. So I don't have an animal. Jimbo, he doesn't have one either. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, we're now at the vehicles. Yep, we want to know what vehicles you have because we want to know who's coming and going. We're not going to be looking, but if somebody's vehicle is there that shouldn't be there, and you need our help, we need to know what vehicles should be there. So, you know, put it in there. Let's do this one for me. So I'll put in type Toyota. Yep, that's right. I do have a Toyota Tacoma. Love it. And this is where I screwed up. It's a truck, not a Toyota. Model is Toyota. Make is Tacoma. It is gray, like my hair, and that is my license plate number in the state of South Carolina. Great. Next. I got that in there. Once you hit next, it puts it in there. You can add another one if you have multiple vehicles. And then you go to Jimbo. Jimbo doesn't have any vehicles. He is a man. He walks everywhere. Great. Here's important stuff. This is important. I cannot emphasize this enough. We want you to be honest because I'm going to be honest with you. I want you to be honest with me. Has Mo Lee ever filed for or currently involved in bankruptcy, foreclosure, or a civil suit? Yes, maybe no. Hey, I hear yes. I sued someone, or they sued me, and why? Has Mo Lee ever been evicted from a tenancy and left owing money? If you have, but you've cleared it up, hit yes and say, I have cleared this up. If you say no, and we find out that you will, and I guarantee we're going to find out, we have a very good screening process, that doesn't bode well for you. Does Mo Lee have any pending criminal charges? Mo Lee's a great guy. Here's some references. Mo's mom. We prefer not to get your mom, but you can give it to me. Phone number 123-456-789 and 10. Reference number 2. Jimbo's dad. Now it cannot be the other applicant, so don't put each other as references. Surely you know 2 people in your life that can say, hey, that person's a good guy. All right. I put that in there, and then I push on to Jimbo. Same thing for Jimbo. Nope, good guy. Perfect. Can't complain. One. Let's see if it works. It shouldn't, but it may. It did. That's all right. Here's the legalese. You need to read through this. You're saying you're agreeing to arbitration. You're saying you're agreeing to other things. You have to click these to move on. So read through it. You should never take legal documents with a grain of salt. You should absolutely read through every single one of them. But that's just Mike Lee's 2 cents. Oops. So once you do that, it is going to send you a DocuSign. It is going to send both of you a DocuSign. if you are the primary, aka Moly in this situation, you can sign it right here. You hit, I agree, you hit start, go ahead and hit start, you attach. This is important. This is, as you can see, looking for proof of income. Let's go ahead and pull some proof of income. I did some downloads. Pay stub one, I think I can get both of them. No, pay stub one's pay stub two. Upload another file. Pay stub two. Look at that. I got both my pay stubs in there. Put all of them in there. If you don't get them all in, you're not first in line. Well, Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last, right? Not really. There's other places in between. But great, I need an ID. So I'm just going to go ahead and I think I saved something that I can put in here. I'm just going to put the same stuff. You need to just take a picture of your ID and put it in there or scan it. Either way, a picture's fine as long as it's legible. That's all we're looking for. We want to make sure it's you filling it out. I have agreed. Mo Lee, sign. It's going to say, what kind of signature do you want? Hey, looks good to me. Mona Lee, adopt and sign. Boom, it is signed. That is official. And you can see it's uploaded all those documents I just put in there. Scroll the bottom, hit finish. Your application, your portion is done, but your application is not done. If you will look, Jimbo still needs to sign. He ain't got nothing there. So they can't, the system isn't perfect, right? Jimbo would have received an email. In that email is where he will be referred to as DocuSign. Remember at the beginning, I said, have an email ready that you can easily access and it's not going to your junk mail. Nobody else is getting this. You're not going to get spammed from this email. I will ask you for other emails later because I don't know what email you're putting in here. I mean, I can look it up, but this may be the primary and maybe you want everything else to go to the secondary. Jimbo needs to go to that email and sign it. Otherwise, it will not be complete. So we are now at the 100% mark. When I get it, it'll say pending for Jimbo because he has not signed that document. This is where I'm going to put, whoa, just showed you a little bit of my information. Got a few expired credit cards in there. Don't worry, you can't see anything, so you can pause it all you want. You're not going to see nothing. You can put credit card, CCV, expiration date. I agree to the terms. My billing information, same as primary applicant. Not going to change. You will be paying 100% of that $95. So however you want to collect from Jimbo is entirely upon you. I am not going to submit payment because I get charged for this and I am not moving into this place. Once Jimbo has signed, once all this information is in, if you got 5 roommates, guess what? All 5 of them got to sign it. All 5 of them got to go through this process. So you need to set some time aside and go through it. We require a background check on every person in the house who is over the age of 18. So that is important. Remember that the co-applicant, guarantor, and or other, maybe you don't want them as on the application, but you do, but they are over 18. Here's a great example. I don't personally, I'm just using this as an example. I am, I've got a college student, 18 years old, getting ready to go off to college, but going to be doing it remotely because of COVID. Great. He can be there, but he's 18. We have to do a criminal background check. This isn't a request, it's a requirement. So in that situation, you would add applicant and add him as an other. Unless you want to put him on the lease, that's fine too. Let's say he works at Walmart part-time and you want that income to count towards your income, towards the lease. Absolutely, you can put him on there as an applicant. We do not discriminate for age. As long as you're over 18, we will allow you to do that. If you're not over 18, we got to have a long, serious discussion. We generally don't do that, but we could make exceptions. And as the boss, I can make exceptions anytime I want. So that would complete your application. It is important. Things you need to really focus on, making sure all the information is correct, up to date, and in the system. making sure you upload your pay stubs, all of them, making sure you upload your ID, every single one that needs an ID, making sure that you meet the requirements that are listed out on the front page. We're here to help you. I can't walk you through the application process. That's why I've created this video, but this should carry you. If you have a situation outside of this video that I did not cover, call us. Let's see if we can work it out. Keep in mind though, we are really focused on the people who can get through this, because if you can operate this, you can operate our portal. Now, I will have more videos on how to get in and out of our portal, but once you've completed this, you should have an email that says, hey, didn't finish your application? Go fill it back out. Here's a link straight to it. It's been a pleasure. I've talked way too long, and I apologize, but I promise you this will help get you through the process. Thanks again, and fast forward, keep this in the lower left-hand corner. Always love to have you as a tenant, and if you have any questions, give us a call at Accelerate Property Management.